Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. So today is kind of a bittersweet video that I'm making. I told you guys that I would be back with a life update, just kind of what's been going on in my world, and so I am here to bring you the craziest life update. I have a list on my phone of kind of the order that I want to go in so that you kind of see the order that life has gone for the last few months. It's definitely a lot, and there are pieces that are pretty sad, but the majority of this video I really want to just spread joy and hope that things are working out for your good. I am very much learning this in this season right now, and as much as this season has been one of the most painful seasons, it has also been one of the most beautiful seasons of my life. Just learning to find joy in the pain and suffering. I do want to go ahead and say, just kind of like a forewarning, if you are triggered by anything that has to do with child loss or pregnancy loss or anything like that, you might not want to watch this video because I am going to go into that a little bit. So I just wanted to say that to warn anybody if that is not something that you can handle. You might just want to steer clear. Where to begin? So I really do just want to talk about how good God has been to Jonathan, my husband, and I through all of this. I mean, just absolutely carrying us and loving us through the hardest moment of our life. But I do want to start, it's gonna start positive, it's gonna get a little sad, and then it's gonna go positive again. So just bear with me. So first things first, around the end of July to August, Jonathan and I started the house shopping process. So we originally got approved for 2 different loans, one to cover the price of a home, and the second one was going to cover the down payment of the home, and we got approved for those. We were really excited, and so we started house shopping. Our loan changed a little bit because of the area that we found a house in. It didn't qualify to pay for the down payment like we had hoped, but that's okay because it actually worked out better. So that has been really, really fun. Just kind of getting to go look at houses and dream together has been just like a really fun thing to do that I've always looked forward to as I was growing up, like, you know, going to shop for a home and all of that. So it's been every bit of wonderful and stressful as I could have imagined. So there definitely were some bumps in the road, but we have great people like my dad who is co-signing so that we could get a bigger loan, because as you guys know, the market for anything is just insanely expensive right now, and especially where I live, the house market is out of this world. So we definitely needed that extra boost, and luckily my dad was very willing and just supportive enough to do that. So thank you, Dad. So we were house shopping. We found a home that we really, really love and are super, super excited about. So as we were house shopping, Jonathan and I are participating in something at our church called 21 Days of Prayer, and it's basically where for 3 weeks we just kind of really have some like prayer focuses that like we're really believing God for, and we had like our top 3 things on our list, and so we had really been praying for that. And at the beginning of August, Jonathan and I started to discuss having a baby and all of that really fun stuff, and we came to a disagreement. I really wanted a baby right now, and Jonathan really wanted to wait a little bit longer, and it was a really, really hard few conversations and a very, very long week of just like not seeing eye to eye, and just me not being able to let go of my desire, and him not wanting to let go of his desire either. And so we were just kind of clashing a little bit. We went to some mentors of ours that really kind of helped encourage us and just helped point us in the right direction, and really kind of sided with both of us. Like, you guys have to consider each other's desires and move forward in it. And we came to an agreement because we are living with my grandparents, and so we came to an agreement that having a baby right now would probably not be the best idea. As much as I really, really wanted that, it just wasn't gonna be the best thing. So we began to pray just about like clarity, like when God wants us to become parents, and you know, just a very clear answer. Like, we just wanted a very, very clear answer for that. And a little bit of a backstory on me. I do not have a very regular cycle. It's kind of all over the place. I have had like 4 periods this whole year, which is not normal. So it's kind of all over the place. My hormones are very imbalanced, and I've been working on just some ways to kind of help level things out a little bit. And Jonathan and I actually, this is kind of like digging a little bit deeper, but we hadn't been using protection since January. So 8 months of not using protection, not getting pregnant, because I truly, like, my cycle was just so off that I just didn't think it would happen. And I had the fear of infertility, like I think a lot of women struggle with, that fear, and then some women who are living in that pain. And I just want you to know that I am praying with you, and I'm praying for you, because I experienced some of that dread and heartache of like hoping that we would end up pregnant because we weren't preventing, and then not seeing that come to pass. And it was really hard. I know some women have dealt with that for longer than 8 months, but that 8 months felt like the longest 8 months of my life. And so just dealing with all of that. And so the day, it was a Monday, the day that Jonathan and I had finally came to an agreement, and I said, you know what? You're right, it is probably not best that we have a baby right now. We'll wait until we're in our home, and then we'll reevaluate then, because I wanted us to be on the same page. And so I really had just kind of set it aside, and I was like, okay, that day will come to pass, but right now I'm just going to not focus on that and really just focus on getting home right now. 2 days later, which was the day that we were really looking at this one home, and we put in an offer on it, and that night I had gotten a positive pregnancy test, and that kind of changed the cards for Jonathan and I, because we obviously weren't expecting it. We didn't think that I was going to get pregnant like that. So we were like, okay, well, change of plans. So we ended up saying like that house is not going to be a wise decision for us, because like just financially, like if we were going to have a baby, and that just was not going to be a very financially sound decision, because that house was definitely more expensive than the one that we have now. And so a lot of things started to change, and we were super, super excited to welcome a life into the world. Jonathan was very, very excited, as much as we both were like, yeah, it's probably better to wait. We were in no way disappointed or upset that we had become pregnant. I mean, I was ecstatic, because that is really like my heart's desire, and it was just this really beautiful moment that we had. And I don't know how to describe this. If you're a Christian, you will understand this next piece, but my husband and I immediately prayed after we found out that I was pregnant, and just began to pray kind of over the pregnancy and the baby, just for health and all of that stuff. And I don't know what it was, but there was something in me that knew that I was not going to carry that baby to term. I don't know why I felt that way. Part of me believes that the Holy Spirit was just kind of guarding my heart, because I know that God knew what was going to happen, and I think he was really trying to protect my heart from, how painful it really could have been. But Jonathan and I were obviously super excited, so we decided to tell both of our parents. I had told my best friend, and we had told my aunt and uncle that we're really, really close with. And so we had shared with very, very small amount of people the exciting news, and it was super fun. And then 3 days later, so that I found out Wednesday night, on Saturday, I was at coffee with a friend and I felt like I started spotting, which I know is normal in early pregnancy, but there was something about this that didn't feel normal. And so I went to the bathroom, and as soon as I saw it, I knew immediately that it was too dark of a color and that was too much. And I just kind of knew things were going down a bad path. It was like an instinct that I just knew that things were going bad. And so I came out of the bathroom and told my friend, and I was just kind of panicking, like, this is not okay. Like, I don't feel good about this. And I was like, I need to go take another test to like see if the line is going to be more faint or if it's going to be darker, because if it's darker, I'll know that my body is doing what it's supposed to, but if the line is getting faint, then I know what's going on. So we went back to my house and I took another test, and the test was, I mean, absolutely, I shouldn't say absolutely negative, but a very, very faint line. And I just kind of knew that I was losing the baby, and I just heartbroken. I mean, very, very sad, but I also was just at peace, like this is part of my story and it's going to be okay. I just knew that. And so that was Saturday. By Sunday, I had absolutely negative test, and it was definitely very hard to walk through. It was a very sad time, and also a very beautiful time, as weird as that sounds, because I truly believe that if Jonathan and I hadn't been on the same page and we hadn't unified in our decision to wait, that if a miscarriage like that would have happened even a few weeks earlier, I think it would have really destroyed him and I, and I think it would have been way more detrimental than it ended up being. And it honestly made Jonathan and I stronger and even brought us closer together through it. And so yeah, that's the biggest thing that has gone on. And I don't know what the gender of the baby was. I have no idea. I was only 5.5 weeks along. Like, I was very, very early. I think what I had was, it's called a chemical pregnancy, and it's basically like the egg gets fertilized, but it doesn't implant into the uterus, and so it just kind of dies. It has nowhere to connect to, and I think that is what I experienced, because I immediately had a period and then everything's back to normal. Yeah, so everything's been back to normal since then. This really helped us find closure. I don't know if anyone who's watching this has experienced a miscarriage, or maybe you have just gone through one, or maybe you fear a miscarriage. Something that Jonathan and I did that brought us a lot of healing actually was naming the baby, even though we don't know really who they were. But we decided to name the baby Azenith. I'll put it up on the screen how it's spelt. And it's technically a girl name, but it means she belongs to her father, as in her heavenly father. It's a biblical name. And it just really felt perfect to us. It just felt like it fit perfectly with everything that child provided for us, even in those very short days. So yes, so we did have a miscarriage, and their name was Azenith. I actually took one of my tests that says pregnant on it, and I actually wrote her name on the back. And Jonathan and I are planning to create this frame that'll have an article of clothing, like a baby outfit, with that test and her name framed, and hang it up in the next baby's room, just so that, you know, they have a story too. And that baby served a great purpose to unify their parents was made into something really beautiful for Jonathan and I, and we are very much at peace with it, and we are excited for more babies. So yeah, but that's the biggest thing that has been going on that I feel like you guys should know. But that's kind of been the biggest piece of our story. But I also really just wanted to talk about just how God has like blessed us within these last few months. That has been incredible. So we did find a house. We're really, really in love with this house. We have a few little renovation things we're gonna be doing to it to kind of make it our own. But I also wanted to list just like a few blessings that have been very recent and very apparent that like God is like working things out for our good. I mean, for one, we found a house. Two, we managed to get pregnant. I really believe that that was a miracle. But also people like Jonathan's brother, who is going to be chipping in a little bit financially for renovations and us to be able to do things to our house that we've always dreamed of. We also were looking at what our down payment was going to be, and our down payment is actually like $1,000 cheaper than we had anticipated, which is huge. So we are really, really excited about that. And even things like the seller of the house agreed to cover closing costs and prepaids and things like that, that like we genuinely wouldn't have been able to do at all. And just like slowly these things, like these financial things and these stressful things that we have been thinking about and praying about are just like disappearing, and people are covering it. A huge one is that because of the down payment, we were like, well, how are we supposed to pay for paint? And we need a washer and dryer and like all of these things. And we just got given a brand new washer and dryer set today for free. I mean, absolutely like no cost to us whatsoever. Like there's a couple and they bought a washer and dryer and it was a little bit too small for them and they just wanted to give it away, and Jonathan and I just happened to be like needing one and knew them. That has been a huge blessing. The down payment costs, and another thing, so finances is a huge thing right now, buying a house and needing paint and all of these things. And then even like my car needed 2 new tires, and Jonathan and I are like, it's either tires or a house, like I don't know what we're supposed to do. And then Jonathan gets a bonus, like this random bonus check from work that was like, that's half of his original. So Jonathan gets paid once a month, and this bonus was half of his monthly paycheck. So like crazy, and like just like, I mean, like blessings upon blessings. We are moving this month. We close on September 19th, and then we're going to do the renovations to the house, which will take about like a week to 2 weeks, is what we're anticipating. And then like I will be in a house, like my own house, for the spooky season, which is huge for me. For anybody who knows me, I love the spooky season and I just want pumpkins everywhere. So that is that. And the biggest, most special piece, I think, is that you can expect a pregnancy announcement hopefully soon, because Jonathan and I have officially decided to try to get pregnant. We just really feel like getting pregnant was our clear answer to when we're supposed to be parents, because we were so ready for it, and we just felt like that was God's way of being like, now is your time. And so we are full-fledged pursuing parenthood, which is just so fun to experience. So yeah, we are trying, and a huge blessing is one, that I even managed to get pregnant, and 2, my cycle has regulated, like absolutely normal. Like I don't know, I shouldn't say I don't know what happened. I know that God healed me, but like when I tell you my cycle was so irregular, I would go months without a period. And like just, I mean, my body was just so out of whack, and I am experiencing normal cycles like on time. Like my app on my phone is now able to predict my cycle. It has never been able to do that because my body has just been going haywire. So that's huge. So there's a lot of really awesome things going on, but also real things. I just felt like you guys should know, because you guys have been nothing but supportive and patient with me, and I just so appreciate you guys. And you guys are seriously like another family to me, and so I just felt like family should include family. So yeah, I guess I will see you guys soon, and yeah, I think that's it. I will see you guys super soon.